Hello and welcome to Watch Releases Recap for the week of July 5th until July the 12th. Let's begin with Oris and their new Great Barrier Reef Limited Edition 4. Over the years, Oris has released quite a few of these limited edition diver watches to support different Save the Ocean type organizations. This time, they have partnered up with the Australian non-profit called Reef Restoration Foundation, and a portion of proceeds from every one of these watches sold will go in support of this foundation, which is a really good cause. Now, as far as the watch itself, it is very similar to the standard Aquas with a few different changes. First of all, this is the newest version of the Aquas, so it has a slightly modified case. I believe it's also slightly thinner. Now, of course, this one features a gray bezel. It's a ceramic bezel insert, which I think looks very sharp, especially paired with this gradient dial. The dial colors are here to represent the way the light sort of changes color as it passes through the water, and I think that effect is very clear with this watch. Other than the new dial and the new bezel, everything else is the same as the standard Aquas, the newest version of the standard Aquas. So this one comes in a 43.5mm case diameter. It's around 12mm in case height. It still comes with 300 meters of water resistance. Now these ones are powered by the Caliber 400. That's the Oris's in-house caliber. It's an automatic movement that has 120 hours of power reserve, and it also has 10-year warranty, which is very impressive. I think not a lot of people are mentioning the warranty of these watches when they talk about Oris. Now this will be a limited edition to 2,000 pieces, so quite a big limited edition run. If you really want one of these watches, I don't think you'll have too much trouble scoring one, and they're priced at 3,900 Swiss francs, so that's about what, like 4,300 US dollars. A little bit on the expensive side, but I think the watch itself is pretty cool. The new Bulova Super Seville watches. Bulova has decided to bring back one of their iconic models from 1970s called the Super Seville. And with a single glance at the design of this watch, you can instantly say that this is a very 1970s type watch. First of all, it has that sort of TV dial / case shape. It's not exactly square, it's kind of rounded off square. Quite a few different watches actually had this shape back in 1970s. There's the Seiko that has a very similar type case. This one also comes with a fluted bezel, again one of the staples of 1970s watches. And this one even comes with the Cyclops over the date window, which is located at the 3 o'clock position. To be honest, I could do without the Cyclops. The other elements kind of work, even the integrated bracelet design. But the Cyclops, I think, is a step too far, but maybe that's just my opinion. As far as the measurements of this watch, it is very well sized, 38mm case diameter, so this one should fit majority of wrists just fine. It is also a very slim watch since it's powered by the Quartz Precisionist movement. And what's cool about these movements is actually that they don't tick one tick at a time. I think they tick 4 or 5 ticks per second, so it kind of gives you the appearance of a sweeping seconds hand, and it almost looks like an automatic or mechanical type movement. This watch is released in 3 different versions. There are the 2 stainless steel looking versions with the blue and the green dials. I think both of them look really cool. There's also this sort of coated gold-like case. That one is a little bit more expensive and comes with a white dial. I think you have to have a certain type of personality to really pull that watch off. The 2 stainless steel looking ones are priced at around 700 US dollars, and the gold looking one is priced at 775 USD. The new Momentum UDT Eclipse Synch Solar. There's a whole category of watches with its own very passionate fan base. It's called the Ana Digi, or the analog digital type watches. A lot of brands have these watches. You have Breitling, you have Citizen, you have Seiko, and now you have Momentum. Momentum is a Canadian brand. Hey, second week in a row we're mentioning a Canadian watch brand, and now they have introduced this really cool analog digital watch. And essentially this model is a recreation of a Chronosport UDT. By the way, UDT stands for Underwater Demolition Team, and these watches used to be a standard issue watches for Navy SEALs. It's even a watch that's featured on the wrist of Rambo in the movie Rambo. I personally don't know too much about these watches, but I know that they have a very passionate cult-like following, and they're also very collectible. This new Momentum is sort of a faithful recreation of the watch from 1980s and 1970s, with a few tweaks. Number one, it comes with a more modern movement. This one is powered by the Epson/Seiko caliber AB12A. It's a solar powered movement. It also has a chronograph function, a day-date function, and an alarm. You can also set a second time zone, and you can sync both the digital and the analog time to be the same, which is a welcomed function. From my understanding, the original didn't have that, so you had to sort of set them both separately, and sometimes there was discrepancy, which kind of made some people upset. In terms of the case size, it's also very faithful to the original. It has a 42mm case diameter. It's only 11.7mm in case height, so that should wear pretty well on majority of wrists. And of course, you can have this watch on a rubber strap, or you could have it on a NATO strap. And the best part, in my opinion, is the fact that they have those screw down pushers for the chronograph, so they still feature 200 meters of water resistance. You can go diving with these watches, and the price is very reasonable. $295 for the pre-order. So the pre-orders have opened on July 9th. You can pre-order it from the website, and I think the deliveries will be in September. If you miss the pre-order and you just buy it sort of regularly on the website when they do come out, they will be priced at $369 US, which is also, I think, a very fair price for a watch like this. Well done, Momentum. The new collection of Stowa Flieger watches inspired by Olympic medals. Stowa is a pretty big German watch brand, and their most famous models are these Flieger watches, and within Flieger watches, the most popular type of Flieger is the Type A dial Flieger. That's what these watches are. But what's different about these watches is that they're inspired by Olympic Games, although officially they can't say that it's part of the Olympic Games thing, because I think Olympics are a trademarked term and only official partners can use it. So they do some clever marketing around it, but essentially they're inspired by the Olympic medals. You have the gold, silver, and bronze, and you also have the cases of the watches made out of those materials. In terms of the case sizes, for some reason, some versions are larger than others. Like for instance, the silver one and the bronze one have the same case, 41mm diameter by about 12.8mm in case height, versus the rose gold version that has a 42mm case diameter and it's 13.5mm in case height. And in terms of the movement, these ones are powered by the ETA Unitas 6498 manual wind movement. From my understanding, this is the exact movement that was powering the original ones from 1930s, but now it's been recreated for this version specifically. Now these watches will be expensive, and it's a super limited edition. The gold ones are only coming out in 3 examples. That's right, they're only making 3 of them, and they're priced at 9,500 euros, or about the same in US dollars. The silver one, that's made in 9 pieces, and that will be priced at 5 grand. And then the bronze version is $4,000, and there will be 18 of them made. I think it's kind of smart from Stowa to release such a small quantity of these watches, because I don't know how many people are willing to pay $10,000 for a Stowa, even though it's gold. So making 3 of them is kind of a safe choice. The new Christopher Ward C65 Super Compressor Elite. Christopher Ward has been on the roll with their designs lately. I've been really liking a lot of their releases, including this Super Compressor Elite. So before this release, they had the Super Compressor model, and that was a very attractive watch. But this new Elite version also features a decompression scale on the dial, which makes it kind of fun to look at. In terms of the case, it's made out of stainless steel. It features a 41mm diameter. It's about 47mm from one lug to another, and these ones do have a fairly reasonable thickness of about 13.75mm case height. It's a bit on the thicker side, but these compression style cases tend to be a bit thicker because of course you need to make room for the internally rotating bezel. These watches also feature a semi-display caseback. Why I say semi? Because you can see the movement, but you also have this sort of big medallion right in the center, so you get both. You get the engraved caseback as well as a display caseback, which is kind of unique. Now these ones are powered by the Sellita SW300-1 automatic movements that beat at 28,800 vibrations per hour. They have 56 hours of power reserve and 25 joules. As far as the water resistance, these ones are 150 meters, so they're kind of like skin diver, I guess, not the actual diver yet, but 150 meters is sufficient for most people. As far as the prices and availability goes, they're not a limited edition, so you should be able to pick one up if you really want one. If you want the one on the bracelet, it's 1960 euro, and the ones on the strap and not on the bracelet are about $200 less. The new Certina DS-1 Day-Date. Certina is a pretty cool brand that offers some good value for money. In fact, only last week I've mentioned one of their divers. Well, this week they're releasing sort of a more casual, everyday type piece. This one is a day-date complication. As you can see, there is a day by the 12 o'clock position and a date by the 6 o'clock position. By the way, the integration of both works for me. A lot of times it's kind of hard to execute this complication because it will throw off the symmetry of the dial. I think on this watch particularly, it looks pretty good. As far as the cases go, they're made out of stainless steel. They're 40 millimeters in case diameter, very slim, only 11.5 millimeters in case height. That's pretty good, especially if you consider the fact that this is a sapphire sandwich and it has this complicated movement. Well done, Certina. As far as the water resistance, 100 meters, which is perfect for everyday wear. And these ones are powered by the Caliber ETA 2834-2 automatic movement. It's a variation of ETA 2824-2 that has 42 hours of power reserve. It beats at 28,800 vibrations per hour and has 25 joules. There are a few different dial versions available of this watch. My favorite is this wide dial version with gold accents and a gold circle on the dial. I think that actually looks really sharp, and from the pictures at least, it's a pretty good looking watch. As far as the prices go, that's the best part. They're pretty affordable watches, 850 euro on the leather strap and about 890 euro, so only $40 more for the bracelet. I think a very fair price for a watch like this. And that's it for this week's releases. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more videos like this, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought about these week's releases. By the way, I just want to give a huge thank you to everyone who leaves comments on the videos. I know a lot of times it's just not possible to leave a comment or you have nothing to say, but I do appreciate these comments because it just lets me know that there are other people on the other side of the screen. A lot of times I'm just sitting here talking to the camera, talking about the watches, so it's nice to get some feedback from the community, and we have an excellent community. 99.9% of the comments are fantastic. So thank you guys, and please leave your comments as you usually do. Thanks for watching this one, and we'll see you next time. Bye. By the way, Bond is just in the other room. It's very hot in Vancouver, so he's just taking it easy closer to the AC. And I'm wearing the Baltic Tri-Compacts on my wrist. I know a lot of you guys ask in the comment section below. Well, now you know.